Hey, what's going on, everybody? I wanted to jump on here really quick and just really share some thoughts. I'm literally within, I don't know, 2, 3 minutes ago, just finishing up some of my meditation time, right? And a thought crossed my mind. I'm thinking about a goal that I have in mind right now. And the thought crossed my mind that why is it that so many people they have goals, but for whatever reason, they do not accomplish the goals that they set out to accomplish. And in my meditation time, I thought about in my own life, of course, I thought about that goal, but I thought about in my own life how when I would set a goal, I would literally go to that place in my mind and see that goal being accomplished. And I believe that has been one of the key components in being able to see a goal or to be able to create the goal and then see the goal actually manifested. And that is, I can see the goal being complete before I even get started on the goal. Right. So it's very similar to in my book when I talked about playing the movie. Although in the book I'm talking about it from a perspective of being able to put yourself in a frame of mind of making a decision based on how you would respond or react to any given situation. But the principle is still the same. Whereas when it comes to a goal, you have to get to a place where you can see that goal being done before you actually get moving on the goal. That's the first thing. The second thing, and that is, I think this is where most people get caught up, is they have this fear that they'll never be able to accomplish the goal. And it's amazing because the Bible says, God says that I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And I think when we really meditate on that truth, most of the things that we fear, when we really think about it, it never really comes to pass. Think about that for a second. The things that we fear usually don't come to pass, or it hasn't actually happened yet. And I think we, a lot of times as people, especially in the midst of all of this that's going on around us now, but we have a tendency sometimes to, in my opinion, expedite that thing that we fear the most by pondering on it on a consistent basis. And so I think when it comes to goals, I think when it comes to fear, you have to remove that fear first in your mind before you're going to see it removed from your life. I thought about years ago. One of the things that I used to I loved it. I loved it. I loved it was being able to sit down with my children and watch movies. And those who know me know that one of my favorite movies is The Lion King. And the reason that that movie, of course, in addition to, lions, y'all know that I love lions, but in addition to that movie being, showing lions, the principles that you can really cultivate or draw out from the Lion King absolutely change the way I saw some things. And I remember, and you probably remember this too. Remember the scene where Simba was getting to the point where he didn't know which way to turn. He didn't know if he was going to turn left or turn right because he lost himself. He no longer remembered who he was. And he walked up to this lake or to this river, and in the midst of him bending down to get some water out of this river, he jumped back, right? And in the midst of him jumping back, he jumped back because he saw the reflection of his father inside of the river. Now, what's interesting about this is that when Simba saw the reflection of his father in the river, it never crossed his mind that the spirit of his father was still living in him. And because he was unable to see or really validate within himself that the spirit of his father, who was a king, was still living in him, he began to entertain the thought that he was unworthy of accomplishing that which he knew in his heart that he was supposed to do in his rightful place. But because he had this fear based on his past, he felt that he was incapable of being able to do it. And so it's the same thing. Think about that. It's the same thing with you and I. A lot of times is we really don't understand that the Spirit of the Father is actually in us. And if we understand that the Spirit of the Father is actually in us, then there is no reason to fear. There's no reason to set the limitations of possibilities in our lives, because with God, all things are possible. And if we truly, truly believe that, then my challenge is, what is it that you're believing for? And how is it that fear is allowing you to remain standstill or stagnant in your own life? You see, fear is only relevant to the power that you give it in your life. When you remove fear from your life, nothing is impossible for you. When you remove fear from your life, nothing is impossible for you. But you have to believe that. And so part of believing that nothing is impossible for you is you have to go in your mind and tap into the experience of accomplishing that thing that for so long fear has put a cap on in your life. In other words, if you are trying to accomplish a certain task or a certain goal right now, and let's just say, for example, that you want to start a business. My recommendation to you is, in the midst of starting that business, I need you to go to that place where you're experiencing the exact emotions that you will experience knowing that you have a business up and running. Not just a business up and running, but a successful business. If you're looking for a successful marriage, what does that experience feel like? And you know, one of the things is, when you can get to that place where you experience what that goal feels like, then fear begins to remove itself from your life, only to show up at some point later again. However, now you know how to deal with it. So whatever that goal is, I want you to be intentional about removing the fear. What did God say about you? He said that we were created in his image and after his likeness. We have been given dominion. Now, what does that mean? Again, that means that on the inside of you has been injected with the unlimited potential to be everything that you've been created to be. So there is no limitations in your life. The only limitation is that which you set, not that which your friends set, not that which your parents set, not that which your grandparents set. It's the limitations that you set in your own life that hinders you from moving forward. There is so much more available to you, but you have to believe that it's possible for you. I can believe it for you, but you have to believe that it's possible for you. And when you truly believe that it's possible for you, then it becomes a manifested promise in your life. So remove the fear. The fear is there as a catapult to help you cross over so you can actually seize that which you are believing for. Believe it. It's yours. When you truly believe that it's yours, I want you to ask yourself the question, how would I function in my day-to-day life if I truly believe that what I was expecting or believing for was already mine? How would you go about your daily life? Would you worry about whatever it is that you're worrying about if you knew that it was already yours? Fear is only relevant to the power that you give it in your life. So I just wanted to jump on here real quick before I get back to my assignment. But I wanted to jump on here real quick and let you know that whatever it is that you are believing for, it's possible. But you have to remove the fear. Play the movie in your mind. Experience what it feels like to grab hold of that promise or grab hold to that goal. And I want you to just move forward. Don't get so caught up in how you're going to do it. How is none of your business. How is none of your business. You just need to make the decision that you're going to move forward one step at a time in order to get to that goal that you said that you wanted to accomplish in your life. Fear has nothing to do with you being able. I don't want to say it that way. Fear, again, is only relevant to the power that you give it. But once you realize that you give power to fear, it's no longer relevant to you achieving what it is that you want in your life. So I want to see you win. Hopefully you do too. But I had to jump on here really quick and just share this thought. Fear is only relevant to the power that you give it. So don't give it any power. All right. That goal is yours. Believe it, act on it, and manifest it. Okay. So you already know how I do. I want to see you win, but more so than that, I want to see you living in your purpose, because we understand that when you are indeed living in your purpose, there is no such thing as competition. God bless you. See you next time.